ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ ਟੂ ਦ ਸ਼ੋ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਮੰਡੇ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੀਦੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰੀਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਕਰਾਈਦਾ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਦੇ ਸਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਦੇ ਸਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਦੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੌਸਲਾ ਅਫਜ਼ਾਈ ਦੇਣ ਲਈ ਐਂਡ ਹੋਰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਡਿਸਕਸ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ TV ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਜੀ ਬੈਨੀ ਹਿੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਕੈਨੀ ਐਵਰਟ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਜੀ ਪੌਲ ਡੈਨੀਅਲ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਪੌਲ ਸੱਦਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੱਦਦੇ ਸੀ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਮੈਜੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਸੱਦਣਾ doesn't matter if you're female you get called magic man as well in Punjabi but now I'm very happy to say I used to sit there and I think ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਜੋ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਆ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਗੋਰੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋ ਨਾਓ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਮੈਂ YouTube ਤੇ TV ਤੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਈਵਨ ਲਾਈਵ ਇਵੈਂਟਸ 'ਤੇ ਵੀ ਦੇਖ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਮੈਨ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਮੈਜੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੋਅ 'ਤੇ ਸੱਦ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਾਈਏ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਕਰਾਈਏ ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਆਏ ਹੋਏ ਹੈਗੇ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਸਿੰਘ Magic, thank you for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And sat sri akal, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Sat sri akal to everyone and hello to everyone.
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਯਾਰ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸੂਟ ਸਾਟ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਬੜਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ explain ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਆ what do you do what is a magician
What is a magician? So magician is someone who does magic tricks if you like. Now we all know it's a trick.
Okay.
But it's all about how you deliver the performance.
Okay.
Now, I like to perform magic like it should be seen in the movies.
Okay.
Like we read about them in books and things like that. Like Harry Potter, for example.
Okay.
Now, for me personally, to dress smart, look good is very important. It's all part of the package. Now, we see many magicians from the past, whether it's the UK or around the world. They're all dressed in various different ways and it's almost comical. ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ 'ਚ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ like we see magicians in India and they say oh you jadugar aa gaya first of all they make on the posters they have such drowning eyes like Ravan or someone out of Mahabharata and you're sitting there thinking this guy looks evil man I don't want to go anywhere near him and they have all these ridiculous outfits oversized clothes and all that and they're more like clowns they look like clowns rather than magicians. The thing is with magic that it's got the connotation of being scary. It's jadoo, isn't it? Jadugar. No matter which part of the world you're from it's still going to have those same connotations and they try to act or dress themselves in such a scary way that you're going to be scared by me, you're going to be feared by me because I'm going to read your mind or I'm going to put a spell on you or something like that. I mean, it's not real. Again, I mean, that's what we get. That's the message that comes across. But we're not used to that no more, you know? We know it's all silly and that's why it comes across looking silly nowadays.
With the magic coming back into the scene, especially with people like Dynamo and, the programs are becoming very popular now, they're on mainstream channels. And it really is, something that people are more interested in. And I get a lot of kids coming and say, especially when we look at shows like Britain's Got Talent, Saturday, right? And I remember that Apne Bande Madhu and you came on, Signature came on, and they did something different. On a different kita si with a Michael Jackson thing and a Bhangra fusion thing. And, it was great, and they got very far into the final tunnel pataya. And now I look at the Britain's Got Talent, and the only thing the Asians seem to do is just like the Bhangra groups. There's not much else, or Gatka, which is another good display. But there's nothing out of the box, nothing out something different. And I suppose here, when we see someone like you, we say, hold on, Magic Singh, why is this guy doing magic for a start? How comes he got into this line? But that's always there, that.
You would never, number one, you'd never expect a Sardarji to be doing magic.
No, you just don't expect it.
Maybe singing, maybe dancing along those lines. I think in our culture, we're not really pushed or we're not really interested in those forms of arts. We're always thinking of the more the serious things, and I respect them completely, like becoming a doctor or an accountant or a lawyer, along those lines. But when it comes to performance art, everyone's really into the Bhangra dancing, and it's fantastic. Everyone's putting a different spin to it nowadays as well. And then, of course, you've got the singers, and you've got the traditional stuff with the Gatka fighters and dancers, etc. When it comes to magic, you don't associate that with our culture, essentially. I mean, when you think of magic, Jadugar, and he does all these spells and black magic and things like that.
Black magic, in fact,
that's the first thing.
Jadugar is
ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਾਲਾ ਜਾਦੂ ਇਸੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ
Yeah.
ਕਿ ਜੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਟੂਣਾ ਕਰਤਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਤਾ ਜਾਂ ਫਲਾਣੇ ਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਤਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਕਹਿਣੇ ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਸਪੈਲ ਪੁਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬਸ ਚ ਆਵੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਹੁਣਾ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਸ ਚ ਆਵੇ and you know we see that on TV shows as well because people come on and they ask astrologers and astronomers you know and people who claim to be babas and self-styled sants and you know and so when we think of magic we automatically think that it's a bad thing buri cheez hai you know eda asar bura hi ho sakda ya kisi da control karan lai hai but we don't realize it can be used for good as well, right?
This is it. And to be honest, magic really is only for good. It's always been for entertainment purposes only. I mean, those who come across as doing magic as black magic, it's not real, unfortunately. Or
it's not,
fortunately, rather, it's not real.
It's not real.
It's a perception, and it's all down to psychology. People think they're in a bad state right now, they're going through depression or something's wrong in the family. They'll believe in anything, unfortunately. You know, I hate to say that. I hate to break the bubble, if you like.
Yeah, but मैं थोड़ी गल्लां पूरा सहमत है because मैं देखे कई बंदे जो अपने आप ਨੂੰ बाबे कहंदे आ ਜਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਰ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਤ ਆ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਆ and actually ਉਹ ਹੱਥ ਦੀ ਸਫਾਈ ਦਾ ਕਮਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ it's all they're just to me they look like con artists and they say something religious now and again so it makes them think ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਦਾਤ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਕਤ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਤਾਕਤ ਇਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਆ ਕੋਈ but actually ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੱਥ ਦੀ ਸਫਾਈ ਬੜੀ ਤੇਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਈ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਸ਼ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ YouTube ਤੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਐਕਸਪੋਜ਼ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੇ ਵਾ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਆਹ ਤਾਂ ਫਲਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਦੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਹੱਥ ਦੀ ਸਫਾਈ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ so really I see Babbe and you know sants and people who say that we can healers spiritual healers and stuff like this and you know I say well hold on you're just really a magician who can spout something religious as well and prey on people's insecurities.
See, I don't like that. I think you're you've got a lot of vulnerable people out there and you're taking advantage of them and you're making money off them in most cases, 100%. Especially with people like this. Magic should be for entertainment. It's the reason why I've got into it is because I like putting smiles on people's faces. Whether you get an object, you make it disappear, make it reappear. We know it's a trick. But again, it's like how I like to present it. It's in a very magical way. It intrigues people. Even the most intelligent person, if you can confuse them for a moment or delight them or amuse them, just for that one moment, you've got them. That's it. They feel like a little child again all of a sudden.
How did you get into this? Because surely as a kid, your mum and dad must have said, nahi, tu vakeel banna, doctor banna, ya tu chemist banna, ya tu accountant banna. So how did you get into this? I mean, who do you look for inspiration?
See, I started at the age of 11.
11?
Christmas time. Mum and Dad got me a trick pack of playing cards.
Okay.
And I remember learning the moves. I was so excited. I was learning the book, all the instructions in the little booklet that came in there. And I started showing my friends and family. And the reaction I got from these people were amazing. I thought, this is cool. I like this. A year later, I saw David Blaine on television in The American Street Magician. It was his first TV show that came in 1999. I thought, this is amazing. He is incredible. He's doing tricks on the street, card tricks, coin tricks, whatever it is, with just a T-shirt and tracksuit bottoms and trainers. Nothing fancy, no glamorous assistants.
Just this is here come.
This is exactly, literally. But people were it was the reactions people were giving because there was no setups. It didn't look glamorous. It didn't look like anything was arranged of any sort. So he was just doing those tricks naturally. It was very organic. And the reactions you got, I thought, this is brilliant. I love this. I want to learn more. Ever since then, I started reading through books. I did a lot of theatre studies, a lot of psychology with my studies as well. So I incorporated English literature, all these different forms of subjects at school, incorporated with my study of magic, which I learned through books like sleight of hand, performance, psychology, all these different things.
Listen, I'm going to say to you, right, you know, Banda, if I wanted to learn to sing, I'd go to someone like Angrez Ali or I'd go to someone, say, right, to me, Gana Skale or Chin from DCS. Or, if I want to learn magic, who do I go to? Who did you go to learn magic? No,
honestly, I was in the same boat. I didn't learn from anyone. Honestly, it was literally learning by myself through books. And you get magic videotapes from magic shops that exist out there. And I would learn different tricks, again, sleight of hand.
And at that time, YouTube wasn't, or the internet wasn't that prevalent. So
that makes me sound old now, doesn't it?
Mate, don't worry, I'm older than you.
But yeah, YouTube
was only 12 anyway. I mean.
Exactly, 11, 12. YouTube wasn't around. DVDs were just coming in. So it was all VHSs, all these old school videotapes of these old school magicians teaching different tricks, the bare basics, and then all the new kind of fancy stuff as well. So I'd practice in the front of the mirror every time, doing this, doing that, making sure everything looks good. But then I'd go out there and perform for people. And then that's where the real practice came.
When was your first performance?
I must have been about 13 or 14. I mean, I did all those performances for my friends
yeah,
and family.
Yeah, not in front of your parents.
No. I remember.
Even if you got it wrong, they must have
No, exactly. I'll go and take it. Yeah, fine, there you go. But the real one, I remember it was for some teacher at school, the school I used to go to in Cranford, in West London. And they invited me down, they paid me a bit of money, which was amazing. I was excited, you know, a kid getting paid this much money, doing some magic tricks for all the adults and the children. It was fantastic. I must have been easily about 12 or 13 at that age, I think. Wow. Yeah. But I'd say my first official proper gig, or my corporate gig, was when I was 16. And I was still doing my GCSEs at the time. Yeah. And it was for the Lord Mayor of London. Wow. And I was performing amongst 2 other magicians who are a member of the Magic Circle, which actually exists. And it was an amazing experience.
In legal terms, that's just a firm of law firms, like about 50 law firms who control the whole legal world. But in it's actually a proper magic circle.
There really is. I mean, people aren't sure whether it's a myth or whether it's...
a union, yeah? Is it like a union?
It is. It really is. It's a private members club, but they teach you magic. It's almost like a university.
So everyone learns off each other.
This is it. People think, oh, you've got to keep your secrets to yourself. No, it's not. You get to share it, but you got all different types of people. There's who are professionals, hobbyists, and those who just genuinely want to learn a few tricks here and there. And yeah, we're always sharing ideas, but they'll have lectures every Monday night teaching you tricks, different things. You'll have magicians from around the world teaching you different ideas and concepts.
So what was it like performing for the Mayor of London?
That was amazing. I was really nervous.
16, right?
I was 16 at the time, and I was really nervous. I'm thinking, wow, but I got all suited and booted, had the suit I got on, put the pug on. And I was performing with 2 other members who were from the Magic Circle. So it was 3 magicians, and I think it must have been a room of 500 people, and I'd never done this before. So I was asking them, how do I do this? He goes, it's simple, just go around the tables, entertain the guests. And I was doing that, and I really enjoyed it. I was really enjoying it, because it was the reaction again I was getting from the people.
Is that what the attraction is? It's the balle and...
The buzz, yeah.
The buzz that you make doing good stuff for people?
Yeah, you're putting a smile on someone's face. And that's the beautiful thing about this art. You can't get better than that. And then, obviously, the bonus is you get paid for it and travel around the world. Yeah. So, crazy. It's good fun. I love it.
So, when you were 16 and doing your GCSEs, what did you tell your mum and dad?
Thing is, they were always aware of me doing my magic. They go, just keep it on the side, keep it as a hobby. Yeah. We'll consider that later on. Yeah. And then I went off to university. Oh, well, I did my A-levels, of course. Yeah. And I specifically chose my A-levels accordingly what was going to help me with what I'm passionate about, which is, of course, magic and performance art. So I did psychology, I did drama and theatre studies, English literature, and media studies, of course, understanding how the whole media world works. Yeah. All those subjects were so, they were so helpful.
Well, they're essential, really, to what you do.
Yeah, absolutely, and it kind of got me where I am today, essentially.
Wow.
And because once you understand the different fields in those areas, you're so much more intelligent, so you know how to tackle certain things. Because if I'd done math, science, and things like that, fine, it would have been great, but it's not going to help me for what I want to do. Because I had a plan, I had a vision at a very young age, which is brilliant. Mum and Dad were very much like, just do what you want to do, just keep going. They were so supportive from the beginning, right up until now, and that's been a massive bonus. And you don't get that as much with most...
Did they think you could make a living out of it? I mean, how did you convince them that I could make a living out of it?
At first, they weren't sure. They were unsure. They were like, you might want to get a degree. Do you have a backup? This, that, the other. That's the thing, because no one's used to it again.
Yeah,
no, never. The thing is, I was making money at the very young age. I was doing, the odd TV spots here, magazine interviews, and I was getting great money, which was fantastic at such a young age.
For a kid, it's amazing.
For a kid, I thought, this is quite nice. Yeah. Especially when I went off to university. My career is magic. Well, it wasn't even a career at the time. It was still a hobby, technically. And I was making money, which was fantastic. And I was living...
University?
At university.
You were picking up gigs and...
Literally. I was at Bournemouth University doing film and television production, because I've always had a passion in filmmaking as well. But I thought it would be a fantastic opportunity to make my own pilot series, if you like. Yeah. And I literally did exactly that. I made my own TV special as my degree, my final piece. Wow. So I got a degree with it, but I had a product in hand at the same time. So when I had my degree in hand, I literally took that to production companies and essentially got work out of it, which was brilliant. But magic, the gigs I was getting up in London, Bournemouth, around the country, that was funding uni life. So the pressure was off mum and dad, paying for the rent.
So you're self-sufficient?
Pretty much, yeah. So that was a real blessing in disguise as well.
So when you got your degree,
And
then your mum and dad said, right, हम तेरी degree हो गई,
yeah,
हम तो job कर ला क्योंकि तेरा ब्याह करना हुआ. So then surely they must have thought, फैसी की होंगे साडा मुंडा के magic करदा is a magician, or I mean that must have played on your mind sort of, or you must have been somewhere there or abouts.
You know what? It really didn't, and it's because they weren't drilling it into my head.
Okay.
I know so. They were proud of what I was doing, but I'd still get the.
It was something different.
It was something different. And it's the results that I was achieving from it. They would see me on TV. Oh my, put the he's in magazines. He's working for X, Y, Z. I'm doing all these celebrity events. I tell you, the first gig I got when I finished university, it's no lie. It was in Dubai for 1 month. They put me in a 5-star hotel, all the trimmings, everything, for 1 month. And I could not believe it. Entertaining the guests. All these high-end profile people coming. Wow. I thought, this is amazing. You had a pool suite, everything. I thought, this is really happening. And you're getting paid to do all this. They're paying you to fly out, paying you to do the gig. And you've got this life of luxury out there. I thought, this is amazing.
And also, it's because you're doing your hobby, right?
This is it. It's a hobby that's become a career. Yeah, you're getting paid for what I love doing. It's an absolute blessing, and I never take it for granted. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I love what I do at the end of the day because I love it, putting smiles on people's faces, and then getting paid for it, it's a bonus. And that's what makes it a career as well.
How did you step it up then? Because you must have started doing short-mote. Yeah. And then how did you realise, well, hold on, I'm going to have to move on to the next level now. I mean, tricks because, there must have come a stage when you think, right, I've got to raise the level now.
Society is always changing. Technology is always changing. So certain tricks become a bit dated as well.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to show you something very shortly using a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's just something current. I like to do things which are very current. And again, magic is an art form. You get to be creative. It's not just like, this is what you read in a book, that's how it works. You can change things up. It's like when someone is singing, you can change the tone here and there. How you deliver it. It's like when you're a dancer, you can try different moves out. It's the same with magic. You try different moves out, different techniques. So I was doing that all the time. And I get inspiration from cinema, musicians, all sorts of different people. I think, that's amazing. How can I incorporate that with my magic?
I mean, because there's not really a lot of role models to look up to, I suppose. So for singers, we look up to like Gurdas Maan, and there's Sartaj. Now, who do you look up to when you're an Asian magician?
It was David Blaine, It was David Blaine. I thought, he's fantastic. I mean, I'd look at other magicians from Vegas, all these stage illusionists, the stereotypical magicians, as we say, in the bow tie, going around, performing on stage with beautiful women. But when David Blaine came to the scene, I thought, this is awesome. This is something different.
He doesn't need anything.
He doesn't need anything. It's just him. No, nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's all the magicians. They haven't got assistants nowadays.
It's not that you don't need them. I mean, you have got a few stage magicians, really, really good ones out there. But I think the most popular thing is now the close-up magic. Now, you look at Darren Brown, he's been so successful in the last 10, 20 years. And then you've got Dynamo, who's just come now to the scene. He's doing fantastic. Again, it's just him doing the stuff on the streets or around the world now. And it just seems to work. It's what people want. Because when people see magician, they think, oh, here we go, big boxes, sawing in half, it's a bit boring.
Full of rabbit out of the hat, that's it.
Now they want, can you make this levitate, or can you make this money turn to a £50 note, or something like that. They want something on the spot now.
Wow.
And especially with the use of technology, people like to film things and share it with their friends and want things to be instant.
I mean, you must watch other artists all the time, right? That's probably, you probably study everyone else.
Yeah.
And who impresses you? I mean, apart from David Blaine.
There are, I mean, even
is there something
now,
you've ever seen and you thought, wow, man, that's another level?
I still get that now because thanks to YouTube, because you get to see magicians from around the world. There's some guy in Japan called Cyril Takayama. I love his magic because he's being so creative, and that's been a massive inspiration. When I've got to the next level. There's a few other guys out there, but even though when I know how the trick is done, I'm always looking how they deliver the trick. That's what's important to me. Because, you may be doing the same trick, which is true for all the magicians. You're doing the same trick, but it's how you deliver the trick.
So it's a bit like someone comes and shows me a visa, and I think, man,
exactly.
When you see a magic forward, you sit there thinking, I know how he done that.
Yeah. You've got it down to a T, because that's your profession. You know what you're looking for. Same with my magic. I know what I'm looking for. I've gone beyond that now. I'm looking, how have they done it? What was the process they got from A to B?
So there's definitely a method to everything.
Everything has a method,
so it's not actually literally magic, you can say.
No, sorry to break your hearts, unfortunately, it's not. But this is the thing, because we're all intelligent enough to know, a majority of us are intelligent enough to know it's not real. But and keep that magical experience, because you want to feel like a child again. Because when you're born, you're a child. You pick up an object, you think, oh, that's amazing. How does that happen? You're amazed by everything you see. And when I do magic for people, I'm able to recreate that again from people that, who are scientists and lawyers, etc., etc.
We're going to go to a break now, and after a break, इसी तरह magic देखेंगे.
ठीक है.
So मिलते हैं ऐसी break तो बाद. स्वागत है. ऐसी भी थोड़ी magic की थी, थोड़ा break दिखा के मुड़ के आगे. But we're with Magic Singh, जो कि एक magician है, जिन्होंने ऐसी पंजाबी च कहते हैं जादूगर, हिंदी च कहते हैं जादूगर. ਪਰ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਕਾਲਾ ਜਾਦੂ ਟਾਈਪ ਵਾਲਾ ਉਹ ਬਾਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੀ ਜਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ ਅਖਬਾਰਾਂ ਖੁਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਪੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਾਇਆ ਕਰੋ ਇਹ ਸਹੀ ਜਾਦੂ ਆ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਐਂਡ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੁਣਨੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਦਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੋ come on in magic show us a few tricks in.
All right, let's do something what everyone loves, and that's with, I say money.
Yeah.
It's not exactly money. Yeah. These are national lottery tickets. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the winning tickets. I just want to make sure everyone can see this as well. They're not the winning ones, unfortunately. But I found an amazing thing you can do with just the tickets alone.
And let me just check. There are lottery tickets.
Absolutely.
So
in fact, just here's what we're going to do.
Yeah, look.
If you place the palm of your hand out like this, one little snap. You can actually change that into the palm of your hands like this, into cash.
What oh my God.
So,
tu edda kar.
Sahi hai na? They're definitely real.
Sahi hai. A ticket, lottery ticket, bihan de banate hain.
So if you have any shopping receipts or anything on you, you know, you can give that over to me and I'll change that into cash for you.
Tu da kar, tu 6 mahine mere daftar ch raha, main tenu paper de janga, tu onu note banai ja. Fir sanu kam karan di lod nahi, na tenu na mainu. That, I'll tell you what, that happened in front of my eyes, and you know me, I'm very straight up, and I don't know how he done that. They were lottery tickets, and in note banate ode.
Let's do this again. I think that was probably
that
was a bit too quick, wasn't it?
That was ek wari hor karke.
Let's try one more time. Have you got any cash of your own on you? Have you got like a 5 or 10
pound? Aj main kam te nahi gaya, par mere ko masi main Big Mac khana si later on. Main 10 pound hai mere bhi. Aa na gap kar dein.
Okay. I promise you'll get this back. Okay. But first, let me try this out and let's just get a close up there. We can see that it's a £10 note.
That's not ji sahi hai.
See, if I fold this once, we get a square shape. Rectangle.
Yep.
And then finally a square.
ठीक है.
Now we know it's a £10 note, but watch. One more fold and a stretch. Going to make this a little bit more red. We open that up now.
Oh my God.
Aren't you glad you came to work today?
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਫੜਾਓ ਇਨ 50 ਦੇ ਬਣਾ ਲੈਣੇ ਆ ਕੰਮ ਐਸੀ ਕਾਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਹੋ ਹੈ
It's definitely real.
Amazing. That is real. And really ਆ ਦੇਖੋ ਸਹੀ ਆ
There you go, that's the £40 I owe you.
Listen.
You're ready to leave, aren't you?
You're wasted here, mate. Me and you after the show ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ That is amazing. I mean, that is crazy. You know, I've been sitting there, focused on you, thinking, right, let's see. And on the second time you done that, I देखी कि कितो कटदा त नहीं है पे यहाँ दा कितो है but I couldn't see nothing. It's crazy. I mean,
sleeveless as well. No?
How old were you when you learnt that?
Last week. No, I'm joking. No, this has been for a while now because I think people are fascinated by money. Not I think, I know so they are fascinated by money. And I've always wanted to learn tricks with coins and banknotes and things like that. So I must have learned that easily 5-6 years ago, that one.
Wow.
It's a popular one in Magic. People love, you know, changing 5s into 10s or 20s or 50s even, or $100 bills.
That trick lasted about, say, 10 seconds, yeah? How long did it take you to learn?
Years. 5 years.
Took you 5 years to learn that and to perfect it.
You're right. It's funny how you put that now in perspective. It took 10 seconds to do that.
Yeah, 10 seconds lage.
But it goes to show how much effort's gone into crafting the art.
But it took you 5 years to learn that.
Maybe a little bit less, but I say 5 years.
It didn't take you 10 seconds to learn.
It didn't take no way. Right. I say 5 years because although I know how the trick is done, it doesn't necessarily know how to perform it well.
Right.
It will take as much practice and it takes years and years to develop, so it looks seamless. Because I've seen many magicians perform. It looks very jaggedy. Yeah. It's got to look like water. It's got to flow.
Yeah, it's got to look like magic.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how many hours would you practice a day on this sort of stuff?
I never measured that exactly. I get that question quite a lot. I mean, it would be quite a few hours. Yeah. In the early stages, it was always practice in the bedroom, in front of the mirror, or in front of my friends. Yeah. But then the real practice does come from performing live to a live audience. Yeah.
Because that's when you gauge.
This is it, and that's when
you're good or not, I suppose, isn't it?
I mean, it may look good in the bedroom or in front of the mirror, but who knows who's looking from this angle or this angle? Oh, I saw what you did there. Yeah. Oh, I saw that sleight of hand you did there. Yeah. So that's when I can think, okay, I can go back now. It's like a comedian. He tries a joke out, it doesn't work. Right. You go back, right, get rid of this bit, change it. It's all about delivery, time of performance, and I'd literally go back to the drawing board and I think this worked, this didn't work. Let's try this way around. And sometimes I get really put off. I think, it's not working. There's times when it's just, several times it's not working. I'm getting caught out or it's just not looking. I'm not getting the reaction I want. But then I'll keep doing it until I get that reaction. So I'll keep changing my words, the delivery, the time of it.
Have you ever had a moment where someone said, right, I've caught you out, or I know how to do it, or I know how you've done it? Has that ever happened?
It happened. It happened much more when I was younger.
Yeah.
I used to get really hurt, believe it or not. I said, oh man, he caught me out.
Yeah.
Damn.
I suppose that spurred you on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, how do I avoid things like this? And it all comes down to performance art. It's the psychology, the delivery. You know, I might get someone to pick a card. They've signed their name, and I'll get the wrong one out.
Yeah.
I genuinely think, then I think, all right, hang on. They'll think I'm not finished.
Yeah.
So they'll think it's part of the trick. So I've got the wrong card. I go, no, but we're going to use this card. And then bang, and it changes into their card.
Yeah.
So there's always, you've got to learn how to adapt in a situation.
Wow.
And people think, I got you out. And then bang, it's just like that. It's a super surprise, if you like.
And your performances aren't recorded, they're all live, right? So you're live, so you have to be bang on.
Now, especially with like things with YouTube or the social networks, you want to, people film it and think, oh, it's a camera trick.
Yeah.
But when I do my stuff, I make sure it can be done live. Majority of it, I would say, can be done live.
Wow. I mean, when you did that trick first,
Yeah.
or when you did that with the lottery cards,
Yeah.
what sort of reaction did you get? I mean, it must have been...
They go
Listen,
wild.
I'm seriously shocked. I'm seriously shocked. And I'm still working it out in my head, right? How's he done that? I didn't see him do that. And, don't worry, like I said, we're going to have a chat afterwards. So I'm going to give him a wad of tenors on a lottery card. I wonder if you could do it with like an FD or something, like fixed deposit, you can double it.
I'll give you
but
my
you're
card.
better than a bank. Yeah, I mean, so, is that the reaction you get? A lot of people are amazed and curiosity, I suppose, isn't it?
It's a mix of reaction. You get the favorite ones, of course, when they go wild. Oh my God, how the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Those are the best reactions. Because it's like a fire starts. It just goes wild. Oh my God, what did you do? What did you do? And then the other person wants to see what happened as well.
Yeah.
But then you get those who are like, oh my God. And then some who are like, just thinking. Because they're digesting it. What just happened? Did that just happen? It's like yourself now. You saw what happened. You didn't go wild, but you were still kind of thinking, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, hold on. Because I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I was expecting something else.
That's another thing you highlight on expecting. I don't like to perform my magic when they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I want to keep everything a surprise. Because then it just amplifies the reaction even more so. Because when they know what's going to happen, it's going to turn to a £50 note. Yeah. It's kind of killed the surprise a little bit already. Yeah. So it's always important for me to attend them and they have no idea what's going to happen and bang, just freak them out if you like.
When you perform live, what's the reaction you get at being a Sardar?
Okay, so you got...
I mean, especially in places like Dubai.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but so, I mean, what's the sort of reaction you get?
Okay, so let's start with the Indian crowd first. The funny thing is I actually started with the English crowd first. Because I'm wearing a bug, I dress well, which is really important. That helped me massively because I stand out massively.
Was it hinder people?
Oh no, it helped me massively because I stand out. Oh, who's this guy? Because when they see a magician, they think, oh, here we go again. Right, what's he going to do? But with me, it's like, oh, okay, this is different. Yeah. Let's listen to what he has to say. Yeah. And I've already got them. The presents, I've already got them hooked. They see the bug, I've got them hooked. Okay. Is an element of mysteriousness, the whole magician thing with the bug and everything. That's already there. Then when I start speaking, because I speak English, oh, okay.
Hold on.
And I've got
we expect him to be a this.
Yeah.
This is it. This guy's speaking Oxford, Cambridge English.
Yeah. And the minute then I start performing, and that's it, I've got them. And they love it. Wow. And the name Magic Singh, it sticks. It's novelty if you like it, but it just sticks. People remember that. And then when you compare that to other magicians, all the other English magicians, they'll dress accordingly with a suit and a tie. You don't want to look like a lawyer. You don't want to look like an accountant. You want to look like your showbiz, essentially. You want to look the part.
Show business,
It is, yeah. You have to stand out amongst the rest. That's what Sikh is about. You're standing out amongst the rest and amongst 1,000 people. Yeah. That's how it's benefited me in the English market. Now coming to the Indian market, I just get seen as a guest, if you like. Yeah. This is the mistake I was making in the early stages. I'd wear the nice suits. I wouldn't wear a bow tie. Yeah. I'd just leave the shirt open like this. Yeah. Attend, and they'll just think I'm a guest. Yeah. And that is it. And I'll start doing my tricks and, oh wow, this is cool. I didn't expect that. Yeah. It's great. It's not the 100%, I ain't got the full impact at that time. Yeah. So I thought, I need to change up a little bit. Yeah. And I remember one person did say to me, he goes, this is fantastic what you're doing, but you need to look a bit different. Change it up a little bit. So then I started looking in more tailored suits, okay. Something that sculpts the body. Yeah. You've got to look good, the shape's got to look good, obviously the body, and the bug's got to be even sharper. I whacked the bow tie on. Yeah. I thought, I don't want to put a bow tie on. Yeah. I did it, and the minute I walked into that room, people were looking, the ladies were looking, the guys, who's this guy? Yeah. And it works. I thought, this is it, it's brilliant, it works.
So the underlying theme from everything is about you've got to get the audience's attention.
Yeah, definitely. I've had the rowdiest groups, English groups, Indian group. Right, how do I work with this one? You've got to walk straight in there. The bug, I'm telling you, does help. Whether they're thinking, who's this guy? Or, oh my God, who's this guy? You know, oh wow, hello, who's this guy? You know, you got all these different types of interactions, if you like. It is all about perception, how you look. That's important to me. I mean, the magic, of course, it is very important. You have to be good at what you do. It's got to look seamless. I think the whole package has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Now, you're on about the UAE, people in Dubai and stuff. Now, unfortunately, as a Sardaji, we're seen as the very low-class citizens out there.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I've noticed that in Dubai.
And
a lot of, almost as migrant workers.
Absolutely, and you see a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
Now, it was my first time I went to Dubai. It was back in 2008, and I went with an open mind. I didn't know, I wasn't aware of this.
Well, the cultures and stuff like that, yeah.
And I was all suited and booted.
Yeah.
And I would get all these looks all the time. I think, oh, I feel like I'm up in the north of England at the moment. And getting all these really strange looks. But then I found out why. It's because they don't expect to see a Sardaji all suited and booted and speaking
and walking in
the Queen's
five-star
English,
hotels,
and doing this amazing art form. But the thing is, once you've got them, it's like a racist. I've met many racist people.
Yeah.
Fine.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to. You must have experienced a bit of racism, right?
It wasn't hardcore racism, like you know,
the P
things,
word,
the P word, etc. You know, and obviously after 9/11, etc. Thank God I didn't get abuse and things like that. You know what it is? We're all human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you can break that stereotype, that perception people have of you, they see you for who you are. That's it. I've met racist people, I've met rowdy people, all these people. But the minute I've opened my mouth, I get talking to them. Not saying like, oh, pick a card. It's more so talking to them on a level as a human being. I've already got them in the palm of my hand. I'm going to show you something now. Ba, 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 pow. Wow. That's it. They love you. The whole racist concept, the perception of racism is gone. You wearing a bug, this, that,
the other. It breaks down a barrier.
It does. It does. It genuinely breaks these barriers that are out there.
That's amazing. I mean, audiences can be really tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you've ever been to a live comedy club and all that. Like, I've been to a few, and you know, I've seen audiences can be really tough, especially on the newcomers.
Yeah.
I mean, what audiences are sort of tougher? I mean, English audiences are quite tough, but Asian audiences are a bit more tolerant, or they can be quite extremely, equally as tough. And tell us a few experiences you've had with the audience.
Thing is, because all my magic is close-up based, I'm approaching them in small groups.
Right.
But then I've also dabbled in stage magic as well, not cutting women in half and things like that. It's more so kind of the mind-reading shows and things which need to be essentially performed on a platform or on a stage. That means I'm performing to an audience who are seated, who are there to see me perform. So I've done many, many shows. And it's just, I was performing just tricks. I was doing many, many tricks out there. It was great. They were enjoying it as much as they could. But then I started watching comedians, different art forms. I go, why is it they're laughing at certain points, or why are they enjoying certain points? And then I started looking into them and started studying them. So I started incorporating jokes. I didn't take myself too seriously. I make jokes about other people. Not to offend anyone, but...
As part of the act.
Yeah, it's part of the act. You're an entertainer. You're not just a magician. You're an entertainer. So you have to put smiles on people's faces. So, I mean, there'll be times that certain jokes wouldn't work or certain tricks would happen. I think, I'm not getting the reaction I want. It's not...
I can understand it because people don't understand. Some people don't understand. When I'm on TV, to capture someone's attention for an hour is hard. I mean, when I sit at home with a remote, I don't hardly ever watch anything for more than 5 minutes. I'm always flicking channels. And that's the sort of, we've become part of that culture. So to keep someone captivated for an hour is quite hard. So
it is.
You have to have some sort of style, or some sort of attraction where people.
This is it. And I have so much respect for comedians. Just think, you've got these guys, packing out O2 and things like that, Manchester, etc. And they're just one person with a microphone talking. That could become a bit monotonous and just it becomes a bit boring.
Imagine how hard
but they're
it is.
not. But just think, I've got the advantage of having props on stage and doing things with cards or people's watches and rings and things like that.
Comedian doesn't. He just has himself and his actions and microphone.
And that tells me a lot. He goes, it's all about delivery and how you can make things relative. People like money is relative. People carry money on them. People want, oh, can you make my wife disappear? Oh, can you make this turn into a £50 note?
I think a lot of us want our wives to disappear, mate. That's another good sideline we'll be doing. But I mean, you're right. It's,
You have to make it relative, what people want, what people like. With technology, what's in the current affairs, what's going on in the world, essentially. If you can do magic tailored according to that, you've got them, You're talking to them, but you're doing magic at the same time. So you've got them. They're never going to get bored.
Have you ever performed in India?
I have.
And what was it like?
It was my first time out in India, in Mumbai, and it was actually an introduction by a lovely couple by the name of Shazia and Avinash Gawarkar.
Okay.
They're very well respected and well known out there, and they introduced me, they invited me to come out to India. They were like, right, we're going to take you to the creme de la creme, if you like. I thought, oh, okay, hopefully it's not another group of talkers, but no.
That's a lot of time India is.
I get that. Well, I get that a lot, essentially. They said, oh, I can introduce you to X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
But these guys delivered, you know. They put me in front of Amitabh Bachchan. I thought, oh my God, I did not expect this to happen.
Yeah. Wow.
And I managed to perform for him, and he was blown away.
And these guys are performers themselves, right?
Exactly,
so and they're at the top level, so they expect...
I'll tell you a funny story with Hrithik Roshan. I was invited to a party that he was attending as well. And I started doing my magic, and he was like a little kid. He was getting so excited. He goes, oh my, he was swearing left, right, and center. How'd you do this, dude? Dude, what's going on? This is crazy. I thought, this is so funny. I'm just seeing you, you know, this megastar in front of me.
Like Krish.
He's like putty in the palm of my hands, you know. It was really funny doing that. And there was other superstars there as well. And they're not, the thing is, in India, they're not used to seeing the type of magic I do.
Yeah.
They're so used to seeing the guy in a city gown or a cape or a city
almost
hat.
Circus type.
It is, you know, and it's kind of, you look like a clown. You're not taken seriously. This is the problem. And by me going out there, I cause a little bit of a spark out there.
Yeah.
We like this guy. This is brilliant. So, you know, I've had many invitations back now. So
you should look at going back.
Definitely,
you know, I think that India is now the big market.
It is. There's a few things in the pipeline, so
Brilliant.
stay tuned for that for sure.
Brilliant. I mean, what was it like when you met these actors?
You know what it is?
Because you watch them on screen and you idolise them, and all of a sudden you're in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, here in the UK as well.
Yeah.
And I'm getting used to the idea of, okay, we see them on TV, this is great. Now, I have to stay relaxed. If I start shaking or get nervous or whatever, it's going to look silly. So I have to keep my cool. I'm Magic Singh. I have to keep my cool, essentially. You know, I've got to deliver. You know, they're here to see me, or I'm being introduced to them. You know, I have to do my best. It feels amazing. You know, Amitabh Bachchan was like, whoa, okay, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
We literally went on the set of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire out in India, and he came out, he was on his break, and bang, did my thing. And he was blown away. This is amazing. And he was happy to have photos taken with him as well. In fact, I took out a pack of, 4 races. I go, hold these. Now let's take the picture.
Oh, wow.
And he was so happy to do it as well. And then when we left, it was happening in the space of 5 to 10 minutes. We were gone. I was like, looking at my phone. Okay, right, I need to save a copy of this picture, send it to my email. Quick. Did that just happen? Yeah. So that was amazing. That was probably the most awe-inspiring moment.
We're going to disappear for a few seconds. And for ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ break ਤੋਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸ਼ੋ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਮੈਜਿਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਾਦੂ ਦਿਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਹੀ ਆ ਫਰਮ ਦ ਏਜ ਆਫ 10-11 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਕਸੈਸਫੁਲ ਮਿਊਜ਼ੀਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਆ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਅਮਿਤਾਭ ਬੱਚਨ ਹਰਿਤਿਕ ਰੋਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਅਰ ਆਫ ਲੰਡਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਥ੍ਰੀ ਡੇਸ ਨਾਲੇ ਹੌਬੀ ਵੀ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਹੌਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੇਸ਼ਾ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਐਂਡ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਆਮ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਖੀਦਾ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕਰੀਅਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਬਣ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ 50 ਦਾ ਨੋਟ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਜੇਬ 'ਚ ਰੱਖ ਲਿਆ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਹੋਰ ਨਾ 10 ਦਾ ਬਣਾ ਦੇਵੇ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਇਹਨੂੰ 5 ਦਾ ਬਣਾ ਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਘਾਟਾ ਪੈ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਘਰੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਊ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ 50 ਦਾ ਨੋਟ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਬਿਗ ਮੈਕ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਗ ਮੈਕ ਮੀਲ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ 5 ਬਿਗ ਮੈਕ ਮੀਲ ਖਾ ਗਏ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਟ੍ਰਿਕ ਦਿਖਾ ਲੈਣਾ
Okay, this is my signature stuff now with Dash playing cards.
Dash, because always every magician has a Dash trick.
You have to. It's like a mobile phone, and I can't live without these.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you this to you, and I want all the viewers to see this as well. So I'll make it amplified as much as I can, so you can all see what's going to happen.
Okay.
So 52 playing cards.
Yep.
And they're all different. So hopefully
sorry, different. Yeah.
Got that?
Yep. Maybe all right. Yeah. Sorry, different.
And Harjap, and you're the eyes of the audience now. Yep. Here's what we're going to try.
Yep.
So you guys can all see this.
Yep.
What I'd like you to do is simply say stop wherever you like. It's your choice.
Stop.
Take the card, have a look. I'm going to face away. Have a look for yourself. Make sure everyone at home sees the card. I'm going to turn away so I can't see.
Ask camera te lao. ਦੱਸਿਓ ਨਾ
They clear?
Yep.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Just keep on the table, but keep your hand on the card as well. There's people think I use marked cards and all sorts like that.
ਮੈਂ ਹੱਥ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਕਾਰਡ ਤੇ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ
I can't get there right now.
ਪਾਸਪੋਰਟ ਬਣਾ ਨਿਕਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਕਾਰਡ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get you to sign the card in a moment with this Sharpie. But before we even do this, We're going to use a Sharpie for the magic as well. So I want the camera to come in really close for this
Zoom
one.
karo.
Let's zoom right in.
On the
because I really want you guys at home to see this with a pen. Perfect. We can all see that?
Yeah.
All right. And obviously that's written on both sides as well. Sharpie, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. And you can feel that as well, isn't it, Harjap? Just feel that?
Yeah.
It's on there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'll do this slowly, so again, you can all see this as well. Watch. Here we go. Camera can see. Now I'm just going to start to smudge this ink. There we go. Oh, what's happening? Harjap, if you look on the monitor, you can actually see that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
If I just stop it there.
Huh.
I don't know if the camera can see this, but that says, I just keep it there. Does that say the 7 of Hearts?
Does it? That says 7 of Hearts.
Have a look at your card. Oh, there you go.
7 of Hearts.
So I want to make sure the camera can see that as well.
That is a 7 of Hearts. That was amazing.
Now I want to take it out one step further.
Huh.
Let me give you the pen. You can write your name on the face of that card, the 7 of Hearts.
Mute?
Yep, take it. Yep, got to look.
Nice
Got to look. No, take it. Go for it. Nice and big. So this is just so that we can't duplicate the playing card in any way.
देखो मैंने लिखा name on there.
Harjap, nice and big.
Yeah, I wrote it on the card.
Perfect. Done. Now there's only one of these in the world right now.
Yep.
So it's unique to you.
That's right.
Here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now we're all used to pick a card, put it back, shuffle it, this, that, the other. We're not going to do this. I'm going to leave it back inside the pack.
Yeah.
Can you place your hands for me together like this? You can rest it on the table like this. I'll leave it like this. Just think of the 7 of Hearts. Watch.
7 of Hearts.
And the camera, if you want to come in a little bit closer so you can get a better view.
लग गया zoom है.
Yeah. Should you come a bit? There we go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there you go.
There we go. If you just drop your hands a little bit lower down. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Watch your card now. Leave. Jump out of the pack.
What the heck? Did you just see that? Did you just see that?
Still signed. You didn't feel anything, did you, either? You just literally saw it jump out.
Listen, I saw that chal maar. That maar the chal, like sometimes I do, addi bottle BK. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Thank you so much. But you know what? We need to end this bit in style. Now, I mentioned earlier on, we're all using technology.
Yeah.
I like to use smartphones. So we've got this one. We'll all recognize one of these.
Yeah.
If you space your hand up for me nice and flat, I'll leave that here for now.
Yeah.
And again, I want the camera to see this as well.
Yeah.
So Harjap's card.
That's a proper phone.
That's a real phone, isn't it? I mean, that genuinely works.
Yeah, look, that's a real phone. Look,
yeah.
Look on there. Look, you can see it all. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Lovely. All right. So the 7 of Hearts.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. I'll do this slowly as well.
Yeah.
And again, it's still signed.
Yeah.
If I rub this on the handset, watch this. So it just changes to a wild 10 of clubs.
Oh my God.
That literally leaves the pack. Just want to make sure everyone can see that.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Before we even started, we had a playing card selected, and Harjap obviously signed a card as well. Here's what we're going to try. Are you left or right-handed?
I'm left-handed.
Okay, let's try this out.
Okay.
Hold this in the left hand?
Yeah.
All right. Can the camera see this, by the way?
Yeah.
Just recognise that?
Yeah.
Notice there's a folded playing card in there. In fact, we won't even need this. Let's get rid of that completely. You can relax your hand. Can you see that as well?
Yeah, there's a card in there. Yeah.
I mean, I can touch that.
There's a folded card in there, yeah.
I mean, we can see the card. I can touch
100%,
it.
yeah.
Problem is we can't see what that card is.
Yeah.
But here's the beauty about this phone. If you just come in closer one more time. Again, remember we can touch this. Watch, ready?
Yeah.
You can take this out of the phone. We pop this open now. Harjap's card, still signed. 7 of Hearts.
That is amazing, man. That is amazing. That is amazing.
I'm going to let you keep that as a little souvenir. Thanks. That's for you to keep.
देखो, इन्हों कहते हैं हाथ दी सफाई and jaddu. That's magic, and that is amazing. And listen, you know, have you seen Django Unchained? Right, Unchained.
Yeah.
Because first you had my curiosity. Now you got my attention.
Brilliant.
You know, it's that is absolutely amazing. तुसी सारे ने देखा, मैं भी देखा. And वो कितना कार्ड ने टपूसियां मारियां. That we haven't pre-planned anything. And I don't beam into my amp before the show. You know, there's nothing that we went out. Amazing. That is just amazing. And I suppose if you can do that, then you deserve all the accolades and respect and everything that you're getting. This
Thank you.
Crazy. No wonder Amitabh Bachchan and Hrithik Roshan were sitting there thinking, wow, how you been doing this?
It's so much different, isn't it, when you see it live? I mean, you see everything on TV, etc.
So listen, on TV, banda hamesha shak karda rehanda कि ये कोई कैमरे का ट्रिक है इन्होंने पहला बैक के must have done I was to do that, but इन्होंने सारा editing करके जो भी है. But that, I mean, is amazing when it's live. That is absolutely brilliant. No wonder you're wowing the audiences. And I suppose if you said to your mum and dad, right, I want to become a magician, and then you showed them, right, this is what I can do. You know, then they're obviously going to think, right, he's good at this. You know,
I think the funny thing is, like, my parents were like the guinea pigs. I'd always practice on them at first, so they'd know how everything was done at first. So like,
they must
not again. They were bored.
Magician, don't want to give.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've got them as a backup just in case.
I mean, it's amazing how you do it. It literally, you know, just makes you think.
It makes you think, it makes you smile, it makes you
wonder.
You
curious,
and that's what I love. That's the beauty about magic.
And the other thing is, it's, you know, it just makes you think about, okay, so there are these babbas and sants out there, people who came in there, and then this is what they must be doing to pretend to like, aisi chamatkar kita. I remember once, ਅਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਬਾਬਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਉੱਥੇ 200 300 ਬੰਦਾ ਹੋਣਾ on ਜੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਜਿਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਐਪਲ ਜਿਹਾ ਬਣਾਤਾ ਰਾਈਟ ਸਮਝ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਖਾ ਐਪਲ ਤੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹ ਆਇਆ ਯੂ نو ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਤੋਂ ਐਪਲ ਹੀ ਭੇਜਣੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰੱਬ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਮ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ right but you know and people were so into it they were drawn into it. We have got a new career. I'm going to suggest ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਣਾ ਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਥੋੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ beard ਥੋੜੀ ਲੰਬੀ ਕਰ ਥੋੜੀ ਪੱਗ ਬੰਨ different color ਦੀ ਬੰਨ੍ਹ ਆ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਬਾਬਾ ਬਣਾਣਾ ਤੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ you could make millions. And I suppose that's what they call a confidence trickster, right? Someone who takes you in your confidence. And
it goes back to the whole thing I was saying. There's a lot of vulnerable people out there who feel like they need help in life, and they will turn to people like they're charlatans at the end of the day. Whether they're coming across these gurus or, you know, these really high respected people. I mean, I don't want to disrespect anyone in any way. But unfortunately, it's not real.
You know how it's done, right?
I know how it's done. This is the thing. And I don't want to... People have faith. They believe in something. When they have an ideology of some sort, that's what they believe in 100%. And I don't want to break that for them. Because it's what probably works for them at the end of the day.
But one day, Vishwas totda hi, because just like what happened to me when I found out WWE was fake. Del tot gaya, you know, and I wouldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it then. And I used to sit there thinking, earthquake, man, he weighs about 300 kilograms. How must that not hurt? I mean, when he splashes Hulk Hogan, that must surely, it must be real.
But you want to believe it though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, you still want to believe it.
And that's with magic. You know, people will see it, but they still want to believe it because they want to be amazed. You want to be entertained. And it's like that with magic.
Look, we see Dynamo now going around the streets of the world and doing this magic, and you know, and all the audiences going, "Wow!" You know, have you thought about doing something similar? I mean, you could do something like this in India. You'd be like,
I've pitched it to many production companies here in the UK, and there's things in the pipeline. Fingers crossed, it'll work out. It has been suggested in India. There are talks at the moment, so all I can say is watch this space.
The other thing is, right, मैं हम पता की सोचने हैं, I'm thinking, ऐसी पार्टियां करते हैं, आम पार्टी करते हैं, उत्ते की होंदे हैं, भंगड़े वाले होंदे हैं, गाने वाला होंदा, DJ होंदा है. I've never seen anything like this. I think an audience would be more entertained with something like this. You know,
definitely.
Do you get booked for parties and weddings and stuff like that?
This is it. I mean, majority of the work is in the corporate industry as well as weddings. Now, when it comes to weddings, you'll never expect to book a magician. I mean, no one will. Especially in the English market, it's fine. But when it came to the Indian scene, when I started doing it, they're like, "This is a wicked idea. This is fantastic," because you got the drinks reception. I feel like this is a pitch right now, but when you got the drinks reception, that they're milling around, they're having drinks, having a bit of canapes. But that's all they're doing. They're getting bored. So there's a lot of people there. So me going around, mixing and mingling with these people, entertaining them, they love it. It's fantastic.
तो तेरा मेरा ख्याल जो 4 पैक पीते हो वो भी ले नहीं देख के हैं दो और पिला भाई
get that all the time.
I mean so what's the sort of reaction you get at weddings and stuff?
They love it again because they're not expecting it. They're not, and the beauty about it, although my magic is for the older lot.
They think you're a guest when you first walk in.
This is it, and that's the whole thing. Going back to them, they think I'm a guest or really well smart dressed. So they go na kudi hagi. Get that quite a lot. And so just they love it. The reaction is fantastic because they're not looking for it. And it's just delightful for them. And the thing is, once they're all seated at the tables as well, you know, they've had their starters, and I just start going around some of the tables as well, entertaining around the guests and obviously the bride and groom as well. And then I do the odd special performances on stage as well, which is really nice.
Oh, wow.
Again, it's something different, which is brilliant.
It is, you know, it's something amazing. I mean, what I'd like to end off on is that if there are kids out there who want to do this, or if there are parents out there whose kids are talented, क्योंकि कईयां दे बच्चे को talent हैगा, पर ऐसी push नहीं करते इस चीज़ों को, भाਵੇਂ sports ਵਿੱਚ होवे, entertainment ਵਿੱਚ होवे, music ਵਿੱਚ होवे, we don't push our kids as much as we should. And the fact that you're one of the only Sikh magicians in the UK, that is testament to the fact that we don't push our kids, you know, into this sort of field, and you know, the Asians don't push. But if anyone's out there and they want to do this, what is your message out there to them?
It's simple. If you've got a passion in anything, whether it's magic, music, dance, art, anything, I mean, you may have your passion in sciences, you know, medical, anything like that, pursue it, trust me, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be doing a job that you don't enjoy doing. You want to be passionate about something. I've been passionate about my magic, and I always have, and I always will be. You want to, and then you can make it into a career. You know, the money will come.
If you're good at something, the money will come in whatever you do.
It is. This is it. Look, until now, even till today, it's always been a passion. I love what I do. The money comes in abundance. Of course it's going to come. Everything's going to come. You know, don't go for the flash. You know, you're going to want these flash cars, house, this, that, the other. That will come later. Stick to your passion. Make it happen. It will make your parents proud. It won't seem like it at first because it's not the norm to do things like this, whether it is in music, magic, whatever you want to call it. You know, if you've got a passion, live it. You only live once. Enjoy your life.
That's amazing. And what about for the parents who are thinking, shall we let our kids get into this or not? Is there a living to be made from it or not? I mean, if it hadn't been for your parents pushing you, you wouldn't be here, right?
This is it. Now, I always get this now, oh, you should have a backup. I better have another backup job just in case 9 to 5. Thing is, if you've got that, that's going to distract you. If you've got plan A, stick to plan A. The minute you've got plan B, it's going to distract you from plan A. That's how I put it in simple terms. Stick with plan A, put all your energy into it.
You don't need a plan B. Because if you do your plan A properly.
This is it.
That's amazing. Right. I've got a little proposition afterwards. What it is, I've got a few blank passports here. I'm not visa magic and all. And or can you turn an Indian passport into a British one?
I'll get working on that now.
Get working on that, mate. I've got plenty of customers. So thank you very much, Magic Singh, to see you.
My absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook.
Twitter, Facebook, all the social networks, you just search for Magic Singh. So all the Instagrams at Magic Singh, and YouTube is Magic Singh.
What a brilliant idea. I mean, break the norm. Be brilliant. Imagine that at your party or your wedding. It'd be amazing. You know, I'm thinking about it now. So I have to get remarried to do that. But you know, and that, unfortunately, that will require some magic. So, chalo ji, mere valo to Magic Singh valo enna hi siga aj. Main thonu milunga Friday again, and we'll talk about obviously about immigration. And next Monday hor gal karange thode naal. Filhal sade dona valo thonu pyar.